Well, hello. This is Tom from Shadowfields, and this is Monday in the studio. And I am not going to sing the song, but please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about this so we're not alone. Hi, Dave. What you are having a Diet Pepsi? I am having kind of a um, strawberry lime thing with a little bit of Sprite. I tried doing a mixed drink of that sort without any alcohol. It could probably use some vodka, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Tony, what did you have? A can of Pollyanna beer early. What kind of Pollyanna beer? Hi Kimmy. Hey, let's bring in somebody else, shall we? Why don't we bring in our friend from Nashville? And here she is.
Hi, everybody. My arms got so tired,
From
having that big
flying.
long flight this morning.
Ba-dum-bum.
Boom. But I'm down here taking care of the twins. Liz, my daughter, is heading back to work this week. And so any parents know how painful that is. So I'm just down here helping out.
Pat
And
Culligan
black,
is on as well, and he has a
what?
Chardonnay. Pat Culligan is on with us.
Oh, hi,
Tony
Pat.
Skaruk. Tony has a fruit punch allure. That was the beer from Pollyanna. Okay, back to Nashville. You flew down there, and you're taking care of the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of songs I have to memorize too, so I'll be practicing. In this room, right there is a keyboard. It happens to be a Yamaha, Tom. So,
Really?
yeah, it's Liz's old keyboard, but it's not old. It was my original, and I gave it to her when she was in the city. So, yeah, I'm going to be practicing up down here in Nashville.
Pat says he's loving the speakers. Pat picked up some speakers from me yesterday,
Nice.
and I am glad you're loving the speakers. I was.
Thanks. There's going to be more, very small potato chips for Pat now that you have some more money.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well, I came this close today to pulling the trigger on the next set of speakers, but you
no,
know,
just restrict yourself.
I know, but it's always hard when you go, ah, these could be even better. The ones I have right now, I've been doing a really good job. The last two albums have come out great, and so have a lot of people's
Yeah.
things. But then I keep thinking to myself, well, how much better could I make it if I had such and such?
I think women say the same thing, right? About, I don't know, shoes or something. But
Yeah.
I know that's kind of sexist or whatever. But I don't really think, I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of gear that I have in the studio I mean, I don't actually collect anything in the studio. Do I?
No, no, you're not a studio
No.
person.
Chord charts, but yeah.
Yeah. Pieces of
But
paper.
yeah, I've been watching you buy and sell gear for 18 years, and
Yeah.
it never gets old.
Uh, it just gets more expensive.
It just gets more
We started
expensive.
off with little things. Hi, Becky and Steve. Thanks
Hi,
everyone for
Becky
being
and
with us
Steve.
tonight. Um, all of our expenditures started out really small. When we started working together, I had fairly inexpensive speakers, and then upgraded to the ones that Pat just bought, and then it's just slowly gotten more and more and more expensive.
But I think the things that we've been doing, though, and I think anybody that's online knows this, that the roles that you've taken on are much, you know, more broad than it was before. I think you're really only doing, um, you in the studio recording and
Yeah,
that was it. And so I think that was the simplistic setup you had, and now it is, not just the audio engineering and the arranging and bringing people in the studio like our band to record, but it's also recording other people, and it's mixing for other people, and it's mastering for other people. So I think that the need of what you're doing goes up as well.
yeah.
So
Well, as soon as we started using real drums and I got a real kit, then obviously you need more microphones. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
16 different microphones to record a drum kit,
Yeah.
and so I don't know. It's been fun, and I got so close. I even put out a request for a price on it today, but they're still hovering right around that $7,000 point, and I just did not pull the trigger. I'm like, that's a really big leap. That's a really big leap. And they're really big speakers. They're 56 pounds.
I don't have a job, so like I'll take the 7 if you're open to it. Like,
No,
no? Okay.
no, no, no,
You have no sympathy.
no.
Um, anyway, so hey, so we've got some stuff that we want to talk about tonight.
Yeah, well,
But
what's been
first, can I go through some of the shows that we have coming up?
sure.
Okay, so we added on a May 16th. So those of you who are in the Chicagoland area, May 16th, we're going to be at Elmhurst Brewing Company out in the beer garden. Their beer garden is already open. So
It's
it's all
only if it
contingent on weather. So if the
exactly.
weather's bad, we're not going to be singing inside. But we'd love to have you join us just to hang out, hang out with friends, bring some friends with you. We're going to be playing from I think 7 to 9:30, somewhere around there. And yeah, we're so excited to have you with us if you're able to join. Um, and we do have a calendar of all the music that we're going to be putting out here, or all the gigs that we're playing at that's out on our website, shadowfields.com. So take a look out at that as well. I don't know if anybody has watched The Bunker live, but we hope you did. We had a wonderful time with Fletch Trowell and Brian, who helped us out, and also Katie. They were fantastic. So
Mm-hmm.
if you do see that, please share it with other people. We'd love for you to do that.
Or you could hang on. In a few weeks, we should have a revised standard version of the bunker.
A revised standard version.
I talked to Fletch, and I got Fletch to send me all the video files. I have all the raw footage of all the cameras,
Wow,
and I have all the tracks. And
that's
so,
exceptional.
Fletch did the best he could possibly do, given the time constraints that we had, and
Oh,
it
he
was
was fantastic.
live, and he's only 10 feet from the drums, so it's amazing that he could hear anything. So,
Oh,
but he
that's
gave
really
he
cool.
gave me the
So,
tracks, and so I've already
okay.
started remixing it, and then I'll attach it to the video, and we'll put it up on our YouTube at some point. Kind of
Yeah,
like
it's a
what we did.
45-minute show. So just sit back, get out your pizza, cherry Coke,
Yeah.
and just have a nice evening.
Yep. So what's happened in this last week? What's going on in the studio?
In the studio, we had a new gentleman in named Darren, and he recorded Darren Kohler. Fantastic voice. Kind of feels like he's a little bit like a Kenny Loggins, kind of between a Willie Nelson, Kenny, not a Willie Nelson, but a Kenny Loggins and
His voice is a little similar to Kenny Loggins in a way, but
yeah.
also a little bit like Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. When you hear
And I
his
don't mean to offend him at all, but
no,
there
no,
is
he
a
has a
little
much
bit of
better
Neil
voice than
Diamond in
any of
there too.
those. He has a better voice than any of them. But
Yeah, I know he does.
it's an interesting thing where you hear it and you go, that voice is really familiar sounding, but you can't quite place it. And
No, I would say that's what makes it unique, but it's very smooth,
yeah,
very listenable,
yeah,
extremely listenable. So we met Darren through Gary Jacklin in our band, and he wanted to come in, and so we did. We had him in the studio. He recorded a song that he wrote,
yeah. It's kind of
and
a Texas shuffle, and
yeah,
it's
mm,
pretty cool. And already Tony Metters has put down some bass on it already. So just some scratch
yeah. So
ideas.
that happened. Um, Gosh, I was in the studio Saturday. We were working on, I love this song. It's a gentleman named Wally Piper, who is a person who was at our open mics that we had for 2 years at Pollyanna Brewing Company. just a fantastic guy. And he's got a real scruffy voice. So you're like, I don't know. People kind of write that stuff off, but
It's a character
when he
voice.
came, but yeah, he's got a huge character voice, and um, you'd have to tell him about your arrangement because I think this is,
Well, Wally
I don't
doesn't
know,
know
I
anything
find
about
it
this,
so uplifting and
but Wally just told you that we should just do whatever we wanted to, right?
yeah, I
Uh,
love the carte blanche.
because
Yeah,
it was a song where, I listened to it and I wrestled with it for weeks. Um, we got his original recording. I tried putting guitar on it, just recording over his guitar part, and we had him sing over just that guitar part. And we were trying to make it work, and I couldn't get the vibe right. I was really wrestling with it, and then I came up with this like a New Orleans kind of feel to it, and
very
he
fun.
has no idea this is coming his way, and so we're
We're
excited to be able to
telling you
share it with
before
him.
he even
Yeah,
knows.
he doesn't even know unless he watches this
He
show.
does.
Um, and so it's kind of cool. It In some ways it reminds me a little bit about uh, I Wish It For You off of our
Yeah,
second
yeah,
album. Was it on? No,
yeah.
or was it on the fourth album? I don't know. It was on one of our albums. I Wish It For You, and I think it was the second album. Yeah, it was the second album. So there's trombone and clarinets, and
Tuba.
but this one has a lot of banjo in it, so it's kind of interesting. 5-string banjo. Um, so that was fun, and we're pretty close to getting it to the point where he could hear it, so he could come in and do final vocals.
Yep.
I always get this nervousness though when we send out something to somebody that they have never heard it before, and what are they going to think if they get it and they go, "That wasn't what I was hoping for at all." I
Don't you
was
think that a lot of producers feel the same exact way?
Well, if the artist isn't with them and they're just putting together something, yeah, I think a lot of people would be feeling a similar thing. And so I think it came out really interesting, and it's not a very long song. It's just a touch over 2 minutes. So
Yeah. But we can't wait for you to hear it. And
yeah.
also, Larry Etchins just released his song last week, so we're helping promote that. We had an open mic at Pollyanna last Thursday night. It was a great time, um, connecting with friends and just hearing music from the community. It was fantastic. Um, and I got to meet with all of right before last Sunday, and I'm not sure if I even mentioned this, but I was able to meet with all of or most of the people that we've done some recording with in the studio, and we just kind of had a powwow on just how we can help each other and ways that we can help do promotions and share information with each other. A lot of times, artists like to go on it on their own. I think maybe that individualistic spirit is pervasive anywhere, not just creative people. But it's kind of nice if you have people who support you and encourage you that you don't have to pay to do it for you. That they can just be in kind of an encouragement mode and help you with getting out your music. So we met with those folks last week as well. So what else is going on, Tom?
Oh, well, an interesting thing happened. You guys might find this kind of funny. I've gotten multiple emails in the last week. Um, First, I got an email um, from a guy named John. I can't remember John's last name. Um, but he wrote an email. He said, he introduced himself and said, "You might remember me from way back in the 80s when I wrote for a publication. I think it was an overseas publication. And the band that I was in at the time was called Damascus. And we were a progressive art rock band. And he wrote this very nice letter and said that he knows a guy that has a record company, and would I be interested in having them re-release our back catalog from Damascus. I'm like, well, we could talk it over or whatever. And so then he gets me in touch with Bill, who owns the record company, and Bill has sent me a couple emails. We're going back and forth, and so I just found it very interesting that, you know, 40 years after the fact, things are starting to come around. The band broke up like 32 years ago. So it's kind of funny that there'd be some interest in what we had done way back then. And they're wondering how many albums did we have out, which our first one was an EP. The second, third, and fourth were full-length albums. This was before CDs. CDs was like late 80s, and all the stuff came out.
Cassette tapes.
And they were all on cassettes. Wow. Cassettes were a horrible thing to have to deal with. When you want duplication and you want them to sound good, you paid a fortune, and we went through so many different companies trying to get good tapes. And then you get it and you listen to it and you go, that sounds terrible. You have to redo them. And then they get all angry because, they have to redo all these tapes. And sometimes, the larger houses that the cassettes weren't like just like a regular cassette. They were putting these things together where it was like a big reel of cassette tape, and it just run at super high speed, and then it would feed into the cassettes and do the splices and stuff like that. It was crazy. But anyway, so they were interested in that, and so I thought, most of you guys don't know anything about what I did before Shadowfields or Humphrey McCowan. And so I thought I'd play the last song that we wrote before. Well, we were writing our fifth album. We had already released one or two songs, and I think this was the very last one. And it was based on a C.S. Lewis book. You guys know who C.S. Lewis is? He wrote all kinds of great stuff.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. So all the Narnia
whole
stuff.
Series, the whole Narnia series, the Screw Tape Letters, and
this song is based on the Screw Tape Letters. The Screw Tape Letters is basically a demon named Screw Tape who writes, who's having this conversation with an older devil about, like how to trick people into doing what they want them to do, and the, part of the book, which was the interesting thing I found, was that as long as they deny that we exist, we've won. I was like, that was an interesting thing. C.S. Lewis was a very smart man, and he was very clever in the way he did imagery. And so this was roughly based on just not exactly on the book exactly, but on that whole thing about being controlled and, there's other forces, good and evil, fighting for our time. So you guys want to hear it? I'm not sure you'll hear it, Heather, because
it's okay.
You're a ways away, but I'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy this. This is called Screw Tape. On this one, this is when we became a three-piece, and so Dave Coy is playing drums, Cliff Zwybrook is playing the bass, and I'm playing guitars, keyboards, and singing. And here we go.
So I can call you up again. I am They live in daydreams. To think I don't exist, not one could tell who put those chains around their wrists. My name is Screw Tape. Now I walk the earth with man, no place in heaven. For I accused, I stand condemned. Separation, a God and man, by game and it won't end until they call upon his name. I'll be like poison running through their veins, and they can shake, 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 man. Till they call upon his name, and I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am,
Woo. I don't know if you guys heard all that or whatever. That was like, listening back on that, I don't think that was the whole band playing it. I think that was my original demo. Because
So you would have done all of it.
yeah, we never finished.
So,
We never released it, as far as from what I remember. Because listening back, that's probably too clean. It sounds like my original demo.
yeah.
So,
So what's it? Can I bring up something?
sure.
So you stopped on doing anything with music for a while, didn't you? So
Well,
I mean, it was that you're like, no, nothing's going to be happening here. This is not going to work. And so you ended it. You actually sold like most of your instruments, and you ended up doing, maybe fixing up your house or whatever, right? And so you dropped everything.
yeah, the way
How weird is it now to like have
the way that
like
came
someone
down
coming back,
was
almost like a ghost from the past, you know?
it,
Um,
it is a little odd, but the way it happened was the band was together for 12 years, and we tried hard. We toured, we made albums, we threw all our money into it, and in '88, I think it was, we put out our "Soon the Doors Will Open" album, and soon the doors opened and Mark left. He was our other
oh,
guitarist and other singer,
yeah.
because Mark and I both sang lead vocals, and we went back and forth like which one of us would sing what song. And he left the band to move to Oregon, and but we decided to carry on as a three-piece. But it was really difficult, and uh, the industry was not ready for us or anything like that, and it was a real struggle. And the funny thing is that like 3 years after we broke up, all of a sudden bands like Spock's Beard and Flower Kings and Porcupine Tree, that's when they all started.
And
Mid
those are
mid
all those are
90s,
all
all
progressive
prog.
rock.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
prog bands. And it's funny that they started 3 years after we gave up. And who knows what could have happened, but by
Right.
that time we'd tried and we gave it everything we had. And we all started having kids, and Dave already had 2 kids,
Mm.
and Cliff just had his first son, and I just had my son. And we decided that we didn't want to travel around. Dave and his wife Kathy were very gracious in touring with 2 little kids that would sleep underneath the console and stuff like that through shows. Um,
That's funny.
I guess I wasn't ready to do that.
No.
Um, so I put that all on hold. And I bought a house, and in order to pay for the house, I needed more money, so I sold my gear. And
Mm.
it was kind of like, at that point, I was so burnt out. Um, you try to do something for so long, and you want to get some recognition, and you get no recognition at all, except from a few people, like that John guy that wrote to me originally. He wrote for some magazine in Europe, and we got played quite a bit overseas, and you know, it's just, it's funny, like
I
there were
think
little.
Netherlands and Sweden, they have, I guess even Belgium, they're very big on the progressive rock, and I'm not sure that it's ever changed.
I don't know.
Um,
All I know is that we tried really hard, and there's little pockets here and there where we were popular, but nothing to sustain a career on. And I
right.
had to get a real job.
Well, we'll have to watch this and see where it goes.
It could go nowhere. I have no idea.
Well, once they ask you for $20,000 to actually release it,
Yeah,
I'm just joking. I'm
I
just
I
joking.
see. I don't
I
know.
don't I
I
don't
asked them
know.
for a little bit more clarification, because they asked for more information. Like, how many albums do we have? How many songs would it be? Do I have liner notes from all the albums? And on and on and
Hmm.
on.
Yeah.
Um, it's Some of the stuff is in pretty good shape. Some of it's in really horrible shape. So, and I can't play back
Well,
those tapes anymore. I have a closet full of them, but I don't have the machines that they came off of anymore, and I don't know anybody with those machines. So,
yeah. Well, maybe they do.
yeah, we'll see. I don't think they're going to want to try to get stuff off of a 30-year-old tape, or 35-year-old tapes. So we'll see. What's
Well,
Tony say? Several
that was
current bands named Damascus come up in a Google search. Yeah, well,
they do. Yes,
it,
they do come up.
uh, if you look Damascus, Illinois, or
Put
Damascus,
Tom McCowan and Damascus, and then stuff will come up. There's
does
one
it?
like a Christian underground, and then there's a couple of others that it actually goes through all of your discography. I guess I'm not sure it would be called
Yeah,
discography at this point. I'm not sure what you would call, but
yeah, it would be still your just discography.
yeah. Um, but anyway, I do want to say before we leave, we got one more minute left. Couple things. We just got a gig in St. Charles at the Moonlight Theater, July 7th. And we're going to be doing there's going to be three musicians. It's going to be ourselves, Kristen Rose Kelly Band, and also Brooke Blairy. And then we're going to do some arts kind of stuff, paintings, and it's going to be kind of an art and music festival. So we'd love to have you come out. It's a Sunday afternoon.
It's a
It's going to be from
beautiful
4 to
theater.
7:30.
It's really fun. It's a 100-seat theater
So
from
cute.
early 1900s, restored just a few years ago, and it's right near the Arcata. So you guys know where the Arcata is in St. Charles. It's around the block, and it's
Yeah.
this really fun little place. They have little like cocktail tables, little round tables for every two seats. So
It's adorable.
and they do what is it called, like small plates
They
kind
have
of thing.
small plates and a full bar. So you can come in and just be able to sit and relax and watch a show, and it feels really like old like cabaret
Yeah.
style.
So it's not going to be like a bar setting, like, sometimes you see
No,
us in
not
a
at
noisy
all.
bar and you can't hear a thing we're saying. But in this case, it's not we're not playing all that long. We're playing like, what, 45 an hour or something like that.
We're playing an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kristen Rose Kelly, she's playing about an hour, I think.
Yep.
And Brooke is just playing for maybe half hour,
She's
20
half
minutes,
hour.
something like
Yeah.
that. So a couple hours, and it'll just be a really nice, intimate thing. They got a great sound system. It's just nice, and it's a place where you'd want to go and hang out, because it's not going to be super loud. It's not going to be scummy, you know. It'll be a lot of fun. So mark that on your calendars for July 7th, when we'll
And
have a lot of fun.
last but not least, It's Tom McCowan's birthday tomorrow. And so I did mention that to a few of you today. So if you'd like to raise a glass and please wish Tom a great year ahead, maybe singing through lots of theaters across the country, maybe winning a Grammy. You never know. So
I know.
anyway, here's to you, Tom McCowan, for
Thanks so
everything that
much.
you do, for all that you do, and all the energy and passion that you put into your music and into others who you are trying to lift up into the music. So thank you so much, and say happy birthday to Tom. If you think about it tomorrow, razz him a little. Who cares? And yeah, it's been awesome working with you 18 years, and here's to 18 more. Happy birthday.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.
And so, everyone, thank you for hanging with us tonight and having a little bit of fun. We'll see you again next week for even more fun. And I'll be older then. I'm going to be 35 this year, so it's a rough one, but I think I'm going to make it. Anyway, thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
This is Monday in the studio. Bye, everybody.